Planning for retirement can mean making important decisions, including lifestyle, housing, even the kind of health and life insurance coverage you'll need for optimal protection and for peace of mind. Joining us this morning, two insurance experts, Mike Abbott, President, and Leslie Schroeder, Local Office Manager, both of American Republic Insurance Services, with representatives available coast to coast, serving more than 20 U.S. states. Good morning to both of you. So glad you're here.
Good morning.
Julie, thank you for inviting us to be part of this important discussion.
It is an important discussion, Mike, and I want to turn to you first because retirement can be a great time for a lot of folks, but also demands that people make solid decisions. And why is life and health insurance planning so important?
According to the Pew Research Center, roughly 10,000 baby boomers turn age 65 today and every day for the next 16 years. These men and women have worked hard and saved their money in hopes of maintaining their lifestyle and their financial security. But if they don't understand the risk they face in retirement and plan accordingly, those hopes may not be realized. Effective retirement planning requires an understanding of the complex and sometimes confusing government programs like Medicare. Our company works one-on-one with its clients to ensure they understand the choices they have under these programs, the expenses they may face because of those choices, and the options they have to protect against those expenses, to help ensure they maintain their lifestyle and their financial security from unexpected financial burdens.
So important. And Leslie, what kind of financial burdens are we talking about here?
There are a lot of things that Medicare does not cover, and if you don't understand that, that can completely undermine someone's financial security.
Well, see, I'm confused already. Doesn't Medicare cover all expenses?
No, Julie, that's a common misperception. Medicare does not cover all expenses. Let me just give you some examples. First of all, let's say someone gets sick in retirement years and they need extended period of care, either in a nursing home or potentially at home. Medicare does not cover those extended periods of care. Also, let's say that someone potentially needs some sort of care at a cancer center of excellence. Accommodation, travel costs to and from the facility are not covered. And also, one of the biggest hurdles is the prescription drug cost that Medicare does not cover as well.
Are we talking about a lot of money in medical expenses?
Yes, for a couple retiring this year, both age 65, Fidelity Investments estimated that the cost will be approximately $220,000. Now, that assumes the man lives 17 years and the woman lives 20 years. But those are just averages, so the total health care cost for a couple can be far greater.
Leslie, let's switch gears a little bit. Can a solid retirement plan also protect the lifestyles of the retirees' children?
Absolutely. If parents do not have a plan in place, that burden can absolutely fall on the children. And research actually shows that 72% of people receiving care are getting that by their children. And most often that burden falls on the adult daughter. In fact, Julie, I've had some personal experience with this. My grandparents needed round-the-clock nursing care, so my mother quit her job as a very successful real estate agent, took about 12 years of her life, and as a result, that depleted the financial savings that my parents had saved for retirement.
Sure it did.
Absolutely.
What should a woman do, though, in that position?
Well, what a woman should do is sit down with someone and absolutely talk with someone about her options.
I agree. As the daughter and the potential caregiver, this will not only protect their lifestyle and financial independence, it will help protect yours. I would add that many of our clients have one of their children participate in the planning session. These decisions are not new to American Republic Insurance Services. We are dedicated to helping people be informed, smart, and secure in their retirement planning. We understand the decisions that people make about their health and life insurance will have implications on their lifestyle and financial security, and we're committed to be sure they understand their choices and feel secure in their decisions.
Thank you both for coming in. This is vital and really important information that so many of us are a little bit in the dark about. So thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and if you'd like more information for your retirement and related insurance planning, check us out at thebalancingact.com or share with us your questions or your thoughts. Log on to Facebook /The Balancing Act Fans.